Welcome back to the Built on Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Max Hansen, the CEO of Y Scouts, where we find purpose-aligned and performance-proven leaders. Speaking of, today our guest is Mathew Pritchard, a Welsh professional skateboarder, stunt performer, celebrity chef, and triathlon athlete. Mathew is best known as the star and co-creator of MTV's UK's Dirty Sanchez, where he showcased his skateboarding skills and daring stunts. In 2019, he expanded his horizons by hosting the BBC's first vegan cookery show called The Dirty Vegan, and since authored 3 cookbooks promoting plant-based living, which I have all 3. Beyond his television career, Matt is undertaking extreme endurance challenges, including a 14-day Ironman challenge across Wales and a 3,200-mile rowing expedition across the Atlantic Ocean. Pritchard, welcome to the Built on Purpose podcast.
Cheers, Max. Cheers, Max. Nice little introduction there.
All right. Well, let's get because most people, because you're in the UK and you probably people know you a lot better there. Who are you? Like, explain kind of who you are and kind of what you did, kind of for the time being, and then we'll kind of get into kind of how you've transitioned and kind of who you are today.
I live in Cardiff, Wales, capital city in the UK. I left school and I went to study catering in college for 2 years, and then left there, went to the big bad world to go and get a job as a chef. Cut long story short, I had a terrible experience, got bullied, didn't last very long, ended up cleaning windows. I've been a skateboarder as well since the age of 15, absolutely love skateboarding. I won a competition, then become sponsored, and then I turned professional. So I was doing that for a living, and then I worked for a shoe company called Globe Shoes, which is an Australian skateboard shoe brand. I was the team manager for them, looking after the skate team. And whilst doing that, I was filming for a video with my mate and a few of the boys called Pritchard versus Dayton. And it was me versus Dayton with Pancho and Joycey in there with a load of skateboarding. And off the back of that, MTV then called us up and we came up with the show Dirty Sanchez, which is pretty much the British version of Jackass. And I did that for quite a few years. I'd say about a good 15 years doing live shows and all that kind of and different jobs on the TV. And then I just quit. 2014, I quit, set up with my savings, set up a tattoo and barber shop in Cardiff city centre. And then in 2015, I went vegan, got back into cooking again, started a YouTube vegan cookery show, BBC, showed interest, and that's when the Dirty Vegan happened. 2 CDs later, 3 books later, I'm sort of still doing that, but I also do. 2009, I started my journey with fitness, got really into that and started doing multi-day endurance events. And today, I have a tattoo barber shop. I've got the Sleep in a Dead supplement brand. I've got a fitness and nutrition brand with my business partner, Craig Armstrong, called Dirty Health. And pretty much that's what I'm doing now. That's where I am.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And actually 2015 is where you came into my life. So I never actually asked you this whole story in this, like, having a good time. So some of this is new to me, but I know a lot about you and call you a good friend. What you got into a little bit, like, growing up, but like, talk about like your upbringing. How did that shape you, like, to who you are today?
Yeah, it shaped me quite a lot, really. I've been doing a lot of work on myself over the last 2 years, as sort of looking back at my younger years and working with therapists and stuff. And I was a lonely kid. I wasn't like all the others, so I which is why I guess they didn't really understand me that much, because I was completely different to them. So I was just doing my own kind of thing. I was really quiet as well. I was bullied quite a lot. Obviously, because at that age, they can't understand, well, why is he so different? So they just bully, I guess. And that's what my early life was like in school. I wanted to be a stuntman, so I used to do weird shit in my breaks and stuff, like jumping out second floor windows and falling off chairs, falling down concrete stairs in school. I'm like, what is this guy? Anyway, it's not until I found skateboarding that that was it. I was like, yes, I absolutely love this. And skateboarding sort of took me away from all those people. And I score away on weekends, not away, on the weekends I'd go into Cardiff City Centre, hang out with other skateboarders, and I realised, hang on a minute, these guys are weird like me. So I sort of separated myself from all those people and went and hung out with the weirdos, which were the skateboarders. So that's where I sort of found my friends that I still have today.
So then you get into being like, you get signed as a professional skateboarder, which I mean, probably means you got signed by a brand where you're getting paid to skateboard a bit. What was the transition again to getting to Dirty Sanchez and kind of with those guys and going down that road? Like, how did it start? It might be a little blurry, but you'll kind of remember enough, I'm sure.
How did Dirty Sanchez start?
Yeah, how did you get involved? Like, how was that transition from like being a skateboarder to getting, how long was that period and what was it like?
It was, well, I mean, I was 26 when Dirty Sanchez happened, and it was real in America. But Bam McGator was doing the CKY kind of videos, but we were doing that kind of stuff anyway, because that's just what we were doing. And then the Big Brother magazine found the guy Johnny Knoxville, and that's how sort of Jackass happened. And I guess he was so successful in America, they wanted the British version, and we were at that time, whilst Bam was doing the CKY stuff, we were doing the Pritchard versus Dayton video. We were all fucking messing around doing stupid shit, but at the same time we had lots of good skateboarding in that video. And it wasn't until, and this is before social media and everything, so to try and it'd be so easy today to troll through social media and find lunatics or find whatever you want for a TV show, because there it is, it's all there on YouTube and everything. So for them to find out what kind of stuff we were doing, so it's just weird how they must have found it. But anyway, they found us, they called us, we went in to MTV, me and Dayton, and then we gave them the video Pritchard versus Dayton, because they wanted us to do some other kind of British show, Shock Idol or something. Wanted to find Britain's most weird people. So here we are. Here's the video we've just made. And then literally 2 days later, they phoned us up. They said, "Come back in again. Bring Joycey and Pancho with you." And that's how Sanchez happened. And like I said, I was 26 years old. And life just went woo. Just went crazy from that. It was great.
For the audience that, there's videos you can go watch, and Matt, by the way, go follow Matt Pritchard. He's awesome, inspiring to follow, and does a pretty good job of keeping up on his stuff, and kind of what he does now. But what he was doing, like, talk about some of like the craziest shit, like, you get involved in. Like, I mean, there's so much to talk about, but like, when you look back, like, you think about, and for you to say this, it must be really crazy. Like this was crazy doing like X, Y, and Z.
Oh man, we did. We did a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, you could, for all the Americans out there, you see Jackass. Well, they did actually. A lot of people said we made Jackass look like the Teletubbies, and I don't know if you got Teletubbies over there, but they're like some cartoon figures. And we just went for gold, man. We'd nail our ball sacks to bits of words. We'd smash bottles on our heads. We shoot ourselves at point blank range. Just whip ourselves with barbed wire, crash cars. Just absolute, crazy. Stinging nettles. So we've got stinging nettles in America. But we're jump wrestling, stinging nettles, loads of stuff, man. Just flat out bonkers stuff. Kind of stuff dudes do at that age, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Well, some people anyway.
Like what? And when you think about all the dirty, how many like episodes or how long was that period from 26 to like how many years?
Well, we only thought when we did the first series, we thought it was just, I mean, we couldn't believe we had a TV show. It was like, what? On MTV as well, back then, MTV was massive, and it's a bit of a crazy reality check, man. We even had a TV show, so we just thought, we're going to do this series, that'll be it, and we go back to our normal day jobs. But we just went boom, it just went crazy, man. It took off. It was MTV UK's biggest show they ever had. And then, so they called us in for the next one, which was Jobs for the Boyos, which put us in a position of doing other people's jobs. Then it got even bigger then with the second series. So they called us in for the third series, and we did a European invasion where they shoved us in like one of those tour buses. And we just drove around Europe, going to different places, getting up pretty much. The third series was like the first series, but on a tour bus traveling to different countries. And then off the back of the success of the 3 series, they called us up and they said, well, they want to do a film. And we were like, whoa, man, a film as well. So that was the 7 Deadly Sins, traveling around different parts of the world, doing all this, recreating the 7 Deadly Sins. And off the back of all the success of the film, the 3 series, then we were doing a lot of live stage shows in nightclubs and festivals and stuff. So what we were doing on screen, we were doing on stage, but in front of, sellout crowds in nightclubs and stuff. And that just carried on. The gigs and the live shows carried on. Me and Dayton sort of went and did another show called Wrecked, where we'd find 2 best mates and we'd put them through challenges and stuff, and whoever lost got to wreck the other guy's personal possessions and stuff. So we did that, and then me and Dayton also did another show called Sanchez Get High, where we travelled around the world taking legal highs like ayahuasca, magic mushrooms, and all that kind of stuff. And me and Dayton then we went off and we did our own live shows, Pritchard versus Dayton live shows, which is, we started it off as Pritchard versus Dayton, then carried on doing live shows as the 2 of us in nightclubs. And we did that up until 2014. But then I remember, that's why I sort of chucked the towel in, really, because you had all that success and everything was everything was just crazy. But then there was no TV work anymore. The live shows were slowly dwindling. And then the drinking, the drug taking, everything was all getting a little bit out of hand. And then I remember thinking, Christ, man, this is like, I'm doing this just for the sake of grabbing a few quid. And it's just, no, this isn't good for me. And that's when I sort of thought, right, this is the time when I can invest my savings into starting my business. And not just that, I was getting older, and we're doing, you got the student club nights and stuff, and they're calling you in to do gigs, and you're this old guy shoving drumsticks up your ass in front of a really young crowd. And I thought, this is just getting a little bit weird. So that was another reason why I'm just like, I can't just it's demoralizing. So I wrote an email and I just said, look, I'm done, guys. We had fun. It was great. But I'm going to go and concentrate on opening my business. And that's when I stopped doing all that, and I opened up the tattoo and barbershop in Cardiff. Then.
How is it doing these days?
Yeah, it's good, man. It's a little bit, ever since COVID, it's a long story. It's not doing as good as what it was, because the arcade that we're in, all the businesses have come out. So since COVID for the last 4 years, the footfall isn't too good, but they're putting a massive food hall in the arcade where we're in. And we've just literally been waiting for that to start work on that. And as soon as that opens next year, spring next year, it's going to be boom. It's going to start going off. So we're really looking forward to the arcade and everything picking up again next year. it's just been a rough ride since COVID, but you just chip away and we'll get there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you remember this, but I don't think I've really talked about this very often because we were in Copenhagen and where we met on the gumball, and obviously we were having a good time. And you were standing on the top of a bar, and you had a bottle of champagne, and you're drinking it, and you're spraying the crowd. And my two friends, Dave and Mike, who they say, "Hey, you should take your shirt off," because you had your shirt off. They're like, "Take your shirt off and go stand next to him." And I was not thinking probably as clearly, but I do it. And I jump over there, and I remember you were spraying, and then you like double take. You're like, "Holy shit, are you really like on the bar with me?" And then of course, you loved it, and so that happened. And I think Mike or Dave took a picture, and the next day I'm like, "Hey, get rid of those pictures." Like I'm trying to run. And so the whole time I was kind of nervous that they had these pictures that in their possession, and they assured me they got rid of them. And about 8 months later, I'm watching TV and on like NBC, and there's a show called like The Life and like the rich, the lifestyles of the rich and famous, something like that. And there was that video of me standing on the bar next to you. I'm like so many years. And I was just like appalled. And not only did they show it once, but it was like one of those clips where they showed it and then it went to commercial, and then it came back and they like double showed it because they were trying to really emphasize like how crazy, some of the lifestyle was. And it certainly wasn't my, real lifestyle normally, but it was a great clip for them. And, so that I just always remember that, like jumping over on that bar and then thinking from that point forward, I got away with it. And then, 10 months later, whatever, it's on national TV twice.
I think I can remember that. Was it like a white bar? It was a really white bar when it was something.
Yeah, in Copenhagen.
Yeah. I think I've seen that clip from the NBC or whatever. I think it might be on YouTube. I think it's still on there, Max.
Well, maybe I
did down.
Maybe I just ratted myself out. Well, let's talk about like what I've really respected in getting to know you as a friend. I had great times with you back then, and I think all of us, being about the same age, I think you might be a couple years older than me, but same age, we've all kind of gone through some transitions, and you've been really open, and, it's been cool to watch you, transition to kind of a new, kind of person that kind of put that behind him per se, because it was time to do that. But like, talk about like what that transition was like. Like, I mean, was it, because it was about that time I met you, you were still drinking a little bit. And then I think I saw you the next year, and you had made the decision that you're kind of moving forward. You looked way better. You already had to, started to get in really good shape because you kind of focused on that more. Not that you weren't in good shape then, but better shape. But what was that transition like? And like, how did you make it? Because I think there's probably a lot of people listening that, can positively impact on like how you make a transition like that coming from a lifestyle like you had.
Yeah, I think living flat out like it did back then. And like I said, I've always said it was great fun. Like, when we went to Vegas and the gumballs and stuff that we'd been on, it was proper laugh, like flat out partying. But like to most people, partying is just on the weekends. But when you've got a bit of time on your hands and stuff, you just the partying never really stops. Really, and as you slowly climb that age ladder, starts not just doing too much of that stuff. At any age is not good for you, but at an older age, it really does mess with your head. And it's not until, because like I said earlier, I've been doing a lot of work on myself for the last 2 years. It's not until you look back that you realise certain times in your life that how messed up you really were. But at the time, you think you were just completely normal. And I think it's when I tried to do it just before, I think it was 2018. I tried to sort of sober myself up a little bit. But again, I was just kidding myself. I said, I'll keep it for special occasions. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the meaning of moderation. I never have. So, one point would be 2, 3, and then next thing, you'd be jumping in a bag, and just, and 3 days later, you'd be coming home. So that sort of, I messed that one up a little bit. And then then COVID came, as we all know, everyone had so much time on their hands to be able to to cut long story short, it all got way too much. And I sort of lost my marbles a little bit. And I said, right, and I was looking back, so hurting a lot of people close to me as well. My fiance, my family and friends, and it was, what businesses were starting to suffer. And then it all come to an end, all come to a head. And I just swear, right, it's either now or never. And October the 6th, 2022, my agent said, he helped me. He got me in contact with a therapist, Chip Summers. I drove down to London to go and see him. And that was it. I just stopped. I just went cold turkey, stopped everything. And it was quite, because I started, my anxiety I had bad problems with my anxiety. I couldn't speak to people. I couldn't do anything, man. And it took a really long time to sort of slowly but surely snap out of it all. But, with these kind of things, consistency, your dedication, consistency, and doing everything you said you were going to do every single day, slowly but surely, you start to come out of it. And ever since, touch wood, I'm feeling absolutely fantastic at the moment. I train pretty much 6 days a week. I eat really well. I don't, my businesses or nothing suffers because I'm staying in bed or I'm partying for 3 days or I can't go out because I'm too rough. So it's just, I guess, yeah, finally, I've sorted myself out. But it's been a ride, and like I said before, I never complain about what I did. I was actually quite very lucky to be able to live that kind of life and experience, and had some amazing experiences because of it. So I don't regret any of it. It's been brilliant, but it comes a time where it needs to stop. I'm 51, almost 52 now in March, and I want to start the next chapter of my life. Being in good shape, looking after myself, and being mentally and physically strong.
Yeah. So you got into, when did you start getting into like triathlons and stuff like that? And wasn't it when you were was it about 50 or 49 when you did, was it 30 half Ironmans in 30 straight days, something like that?
Yeah. 2009, I got started getting into
training.
I ran the country from the top of UK, John O'Groats in Scotland, to Land's End in Cornwall, which was a 900-mile run in 30 days. So that was sort of like my first big thing. And then off the back of that, I signed up for my first Ironman in 2011. So I thought, right, I've run the country, so that's pretty much the running training done. So I'm going to have to, if I cycle it, that means I've done the running and the cycling training all in one hit. So I cycled the country then as well with my mate. And then I entered my first Ironman in 2011 and did that, really enjoyed it. Me being me, not just happy with one. Then I went in search, then try to find the most wackiest, gnarliest ultra endurance event I could find, and then I found a double Ironman to down. Then it was did the double Ironman. I did when I did my first Ironman. The second year I did that Ironman again, and then I did the double Ironman. And then 2014 I came up with the idea of let's do 30 half Ironman in 30 days. And I start March the 1st, finish March the 30th, which was my birthday. So it was 1.5 mile swim, 57 mile bike, and a 13 mile run every single day for 30 days. So I did that, and it was a world record at the time. And then I was so fit off the back of that. I was in such good shape. And it was this year, I think it was about 2 months later, there was a triple Ironman, which was a 7.5 mile swim, 336 mile bike ride, and like 76 mile run. So I did that, and then I came third in that, because it was in such good shape, I guess. And off the back of that, then I was still in the search for something. I wanted to find something that broke me. And I saw there was the Decker Ironman, which is, there's 2 formats. There's an Ironman every single day for 10 days, or you do the continuous Decker, which was all the swims in one hit, which is a 25 mile swim and a 25 meter pool. And then a 1,120 mile bike ride, going around in 7 mile loops. And then, 262 mile run, going around the 1 mile lake 262 times. So I did that then, and managed to complete that. And then finished off then with rowing across the Atlantic Ocean from Lanzarote to Antigua, which took me 52 days with 3 other guys, which was 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 24/7 for 52 days. And that was fucking fun.
Sure. Haven't you done that twice, or was that the one time I'm thinking of?
I did. I went to Antigua, and then when I came back, went to Ireland then, and rowed across the Irish Sea from Ireland to my country, Wales. I think that was 36 hours.
Well, what do you think it is that pushes you to try to find something that like pretty much breaks you? Like, is it like, do you think it's a miswiring? Do you think it's like, and I don't mean that disrespectful, or do you think it's like a positive thing where it's like it just continues to push you and you have a desire just to, you basically do everything full throttle, and this included?
Yeah, I'd like to know what it is, but I think it's my younger life, really. Like I said earlier, I was a loner. I was bullied a lot. I was quiet, and I think it's just because your younger age shapes the person you are as you get older, right? So I think it's me sort of trying to prove to everyone that, because I wasn't really what's the word? I wasn't really good at school. Academic, is it? I wasn't really academic at all. So I think. And a lot of people used to say they were thick and stuff. So I guess it was my sort of way. It was like, right, I can't do that, but I can do this. And I guess sort of proving to them, not just to them, proving to myself as well that I can do something which I'm good at and which I enjoy. So I guess that's the reason for it, really. And I do really, really fucking enjoy it, man, when I'm doing it, because I've explained this a lot of times when I do podcasts with people. I sort of go, when I do long distance multi-endurance events, I just go into this mode where I sort of switch off from everything, switch off from the world, switch off from everything around me, and just go in on myself. And I'm just on my own, just doing my own thing. Because it's a really, very lonely sport. You're on your own, and I quite enjoy that solitude, is it, and the peace. And me just daydreaming away to myself. It's just, I really enjoy it.
And yeah, isn't that water cold when you go swimming? I follow, if you follow him, if you don't follow him, it like I said, great follow on social, but I see him always swimming, and it looks like it's cold out when you're swimming, in the ocean, or is it the ocean right there?
Yeah.
Cargo?
Yeah, fucking freezing. This is Wales, man. The UK is, it's not, you're in Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Christ, Arizona is lovely, warm, banging. Over here, now we're just going into winter, and it's pretty cold. In the summertime, it's not too bad in the sea, but I guess from about now till May, it's about 8-9 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's not very warm. But that's the whole point of it, because I think for me, I go in there cold because I get a buzz. You go out there, and you get that. It's basically like an ice bath, and you come out invigorated. So that's the whole point.
Yeah. So in this journey of, kind of figuring it out, another thing obviously that's been big about you is what you eat and how you eat. I think what year did you become vegan and kind of start going down that road? And let's talk about that, because I think if there's somebody that knows how to eat vegan and do all this extreme stuff, it's definitely you.
I went vegan 2015. And when it comes to, I'm not really that up on nutrition, really. I mean, I'm working with a guy now who that's his job, so it's great because I can get really good professional information off him, and helps me quite a lot, which is brilliant. But I sort of just go with what works for me, really. Everyone's different. I do enjoy some processed vegan stuff that you buy in supermarkets and stuff, like the Beyond Burgers and all that kind of stuff, that every now and again is a treat. But I just mixture of everything, really. Just whole foods and rices and curries and stews and all that kind of stuff. And I like a lot of salady stuff. As for protein, there's plenty of, because everyone knows there's really good protein from, there's plenty of proteins in beans, legumes, tofu, seitan, all that. There's plenty of protein. And when I'm doing events, I just try and eat normal food when I'm doing events, rather than too much sugary, sticky stuff with people ramming these gels down the neck. So, I eat, rather than gels, I eat dates, because dates are just packed full of carbs and good sugars and stuff, and they're really small, and you can just fit them in your back pocket and stuff and just eat them. They're nice little power packs. But I eat good, healthy, nutritious food, minus the meat, dairy and eggs.
Do people judge you because you're vegan?
Of course they do. When I first went vegan, everyone was like, "Whoa, man, well, you wouldn't do that. Doing what you do. You're gonna. It's not very good for somebody who's doing multi-day endurance events." Well, I mean, as soon as I heard that, there was like music to my ears. So right, okay, I'll show you. I think I did a good job of that. So, I mean, I rode across the Atlantic on a vegan diet. I know it's absolutely fine. So, people, you're made to take the piss, but that's just your mates having a laugh, isn't it? And there's, when I do my recipes and my food stuff, and I put them online on my socials, it's the, meat eaters always say, "How do you know somebody's vegan?" They'll tell you. But I find, I don't go on a meat eater's recipe and say, "Go, you need to get rid of the meat," or "You need to get rid of the eggs." I just don't do that. And many vegans don't. What I find is so many meat eaters come on my posts, especially on Facebook and stuff. So, "Oh, you need to put a steak in there. Or you need to do that, but with some chicken." It's like, I'm vegan. So what the fucking point is say? Why say that? If you want to go chicken, happy days, help yourself. Just, yeah. It's like, people are so bothered about what other people eat these days. It doesn't matter. It's food, and that's what I like. And if you like what you like, and happy days. If you eat loads of meat, then, I don't agree with it, but I can't stop you.
What was the reason that drove you to get on a vegan diet?
For the animals. I got to an age where you start to wake up a bit, and you start to realize, milk is not for humans, it's for a baby calf. And I couldn't go up to an animal and kill it with my bare hands. So why should I have to go? Why should I be able to go to a supermarket and get somebody to do the gory, horrible stuff for me? It's still the same. I'm just being a coward and not, I'm just going in and just buying this nicely prepared bit of meat, and when I know I wouldn't be able to cook it myself. So I did it for the animals. I love animals. I just don't want to eat them, and I just woke up to a lot of the shit that's going on in the world.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, respectful, especially right now. I think like we're about to have the president election here in the next few days.
Really interested in your country at the moment, isn't it?
Holy shit, man! Uh, I think the biggest issue that we have is the food supply issue. I mean, it is absolutely crazy the shit that's in our food that's not in, European foods. We use that app Yuka. And I don't know if you ever use that, but you scan items, it tells you what's in it. You probably don't have to because you eat so clean. But where we're at, like something will look clean, and like even the way it describes it, and like you don't know until you Yuka to see what else is in it. Usually there's a bunch of shit that they don't even know what it is. And so, that's kind of how we do it. But I think it's the biggest issue we face in America. Like the United States is just poisoning their kids, everybody, and they have all sorts of chronic diseases and all this stuff. And it seems like nobody cares. Now, I will say I'm a huge fan of Robert, Kennedy Jr., who is kind of taking a stand for that. Like he is the only guy that's going to take on the establishment of, pharma that owns the foods. And they just get kids sick and then just treat them earlier. And, nobody really cares. So is it like, what's different based on, this about the US? What's different in the UK, like in general, that you guys don't have the same challenges?
Yeah, going on what you just said about your American food, you're right. It's just, man, your food is so full of shit. Even like the most nutritious thing, like your broccoli or something, they put some corn syrup in it. I don't know, but I totally agree with you. Kennedy's wants to sort it all out, which is brilliant. But then I think big pharma want everyone to be really ill, don't they? Because the more ill, there's more profit in an ill country, I guess, in an ill population. But don't get me wrong, there's still shit in our foods, especially the processed stuff. But I'm not really clued up on it all to be able to talk about it. But I know that. I mean, our country is, you look at our population now compared to the 70s. There's far more obesity and diabetes in our country than there ever has been, and it's just, literally we're following America, and I guess you see kids walking around and they're just obese kids and they've got no chance. And to me, that's just bad parenting. And you've got a child. Your responsibility is to feed a healthy, nutritious meal 3 times a day. But then I guess at the same time, if the parents haven't been educated in school on how to do that, then whose fault is it? So I don't know. It's a really interesting subject, but yeah, America's screwed, man.
Yeah, I hope
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it'll get better though, which will be great.
Yeah, me too. It's interesting on the point of parents. Like, I eat pretty healthy. I'm pretty aware, but you're right. Our food is shit. I mean, even our the protein bars that people think are healthy have so much shitty stuff in there. I mean, and it's sold as like a health food item. I mean, it's absolutely wild. I think that the challenge, I don't judge either. I eat pretty clean. I have a 6-year-old, and we don't stand a chance because of just all the advertising and kind of what everybody else eats. So if you're the parent that only lets their kid eat healthy stuff, you got an uphill battle because you got to sit there and fight them on it all the time. And, in the US, it's just so much more convenient to buy this shitty food, and that's no excuse, but it's definitely a thing, especially for people that can't afford, because you got to be able to afford clean food. So it is, it's an interesting.
It's crazy, isn't it, that you've got to be able to afford to buy clean food? Because, over here, it's more expensive to buy organic. I mean, yeah, vegetables should be bloody organic anyway. It's just, I don't know, it is crazy. And I guess, yeah, and a lot of people haven't got as much money as what they used to be because everything's just so goddamn expensive now. So,
how in your neck of the woods, how is inflation as big of an issue as it is in the United States?
I heard it over in the US is really bad, isn't it? Because I've heard that, I used to go to New York quite a bit, and that was going to New York. I was like, yeah, man, it's really cheap. Everything's really cheap. And then I found out how much like a coffee and a pizza was. I was like, what? What happened over there? But then, over here, it's just as bad. It's pretty, I don't think it's as bad as the US, but it's, the prices are you go to the supermarket and the prices are fucking insane, especially for things like olive oil and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah. So what's next? What's next? What's your big, you're a thrill chaser, whether you like it or not. It's just you do it in a different way, I think, now. But like, what are you planning on? Like, what's on your list of next things to do, projects, challenges that you're excited about?
Oh, I mean, at the moment, I'm just quite like working on the dirty health and the supplements and stuff, and the business is really in and the barber and tattoo shop. Really looking forward to the arcade where the shop is based. Really looking forward to that kicking off again next year. And I'm just really enjoying working with this dirty health, with the dirty health business and the people who are signed up to it. And I think that's what I'm just going to concentrate on, really, because doing these multi-day endurance events, takes a lot of training, and I've disappeared for a long time, and I need to be around because I've got staff, I've got people that, I need to be here. Because when I went on the row across the Atlantic, I didn't have any access to anything, so I had to rely on people to look after my business and stuff. And I guess people don't look after it as good as what you do it. So and it's not just like it'll just constantly plays in my mind. So I'm just really interested in getting stuck into business, looking after that, and then hopefully in a few years' time, I have got something up my sleeve. I can't say yet, but yeah, get business sorted first, then do that. But I've just totally changed my training. I've gone into doing this like high rocks stuff, which is more fast paced, intense exercise, which I do it more like Monday to Friday, really, 45 minutes or 60 minutes, and it's a lot of running, a lot of ski erg, assault bikes, lifting, back kettlebells, all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to build a stronger, fitter machine engine. So when I do get back, I'm gonna be beast.
Dude, I think you're already I think we've proven that we're a beast already, but I get it. I get it where you're kind of wanting to go. I love that type of workout too. That's what I kind of prefer to do. What I started toying around with, and I don't know if you've ever messed around with them, but like the EMS machines, like where they send kind of a electrical, like they send different type of electrical waves like through your body, but it's almost like the one that I started using, I won't get into it because it's a medical device that I'm not sure I'm supposed to even have at my house, but it basically, it's almost like it will break, it'll break down your muscle. Like it makes it like 5 seconds, it contracts, and then it lets it off for 2 seconds and it contracts. So it supplements. Like if you have a good workout, you can supplement areas, but it strengthens areas. So if you got a bad shoulder, you do exercises with this thing on, and it, strengthens that area because it wakes up a muscle that normally doesn't hit the entire muscle. So there's utility to it, but it also, kind of helps you, just like break down your muscle faster. Have you ever toyed around with any of that?
No, but it sounds interesting. I mean, I'm up for all that kind of stuff. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. You should check it out. There's also some EMS. That's what it's called, EMS suits. You go out, and it's like a once or twice a week thing, just to to differentiate and break down your muscle a little bit differently.
I do hyperbaric chamber every now and again. The oxygen hyperbaric chamber. I think that's really good, I guess, for people our age with a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Do you? I kind of feel like from what I've seen, you got to be in there for like 90 minutes, really, to
60 minutes. Yeah.
You go 60 minutes.
Take a book.
Well, don't you get like claustrophobic in there?
I'm quite claustrophobic as well, but no, I'm all right actually. I did think I was going to be, but no, it's quite spacious.
Do you watch a screen or listen to something?
Well, the first time I started doing it, they said, "Oh, you're not allowed to take your mobile phone in." So I was like, "Oh, right, just lay there and just try your best to go to sleep or something like that." And then I went to this new place, so I could take my phone in. I was like, "Oh, sound." So I just lie there, just playing on my phone and just doing emails or just doing it whilst you're lying there. So it works out pretty well.
Oh, that's cool. What as we kind of like start to wrap up, I appreciate, I know it's a lot later for you on Friday night. What advice, like in going through like the transitions you've gone through, and clearly, you know, your mindset is like you're still learning and growing, but like I've known you for a while and I've seen you take some huge leaps and progression and being more mature and, you know, doing some pretty cool shit. Like what advice, like what things do you do? Like that, like, for example, I was in a conversation with somebody, last week, and like it hit me that like sometimes I get moving too fast and like not like slowing down and enjoying stuff enough. And like before I know it, it sneaks up on me and I'm in that zone, that rut again. But are there any things like from your personal experience that have helped you kind of slow down, enjoy the moment, or just feel better about yourself physically and or mentally?
Oh, well, you're right in slowing down. I try and slow myself down all the time, but I'm just I'm like, blah, not hectic. So I find it quite hard to slow down because I'm always on the go. But you're right, slowing down is very important. Resting is very important. But I don't know, it's just, for me, my advice, I guess I've been thinking about this quite a lot. But when you're younger, really, really fucking go out and enjoy yourself. Do as much as you can, because it's mad. You get to our age and so I'm like, Christ, I'm here. I remember looking back and going, oh, it's ages away until I get to like 50. But I'm here now. And I'm luckily for me, I did live a really good life. So I just want to tell everybody, just do as much as you can, because before you know it, you will be that age. And if you haven't done that much, then you're going to be gutted. So I guess just go for it, man. And then when you do get to our age, you can slow down a little bit more. I mean, I enjoy really early mornings. Going to, like, I wake up 4 a.m. and I go for a walk with my dog down the park, and it's just, there's nobody around because nobody's woken up yet, and it's just me, my dog, and just the peace and the quiet, and it's a good time to sort of slow down, have a nice little think. It's just amazing. And it's when you do it and then you see the world, it gets quite gutting. Or I go for my run sometimes as well at that time in the morning, and it's just peaceful. But the moment I start seeing the world waking up, it pisses me off. It really does. And I'd see people coming out their drives with their cars, and it's like, oh man, everyone, the rat race is just starting again, ready for another day. So I'd say, yeah, go crazy, enjoy yourself, do as much as you can, and then just take those peaceful moments when you're older.
But when you say go for it, you know, they don't have to like nail their nuts to the side of the wall or anything like that, right?
Well, do whatever it takes, man.
Oh man, well, there are a couple of, I have so many, like, you know, in the short times that I was able to spend time with you. I do remember one time early in the morning, it was in Amsterdam, where I think you busted open a bottle of champagne, and like just because it was like 5:30 in the morning. I don't think we had actually gone to bed yet, and busted it open out in front of this hotel and just like sprayed it all over the front just to like start the day. So you've come a long ways, and now you're enjoying a 4 a.m. walk, like completely sober. I mean, that's got to be a feat in itself. And then, hey, if one other thing, this is probably, yeah, if somebody's listening this long, they can hear the rest of this. But when we were in Gumball, the first day we were in Gumball, I was with Bryna, and you were filming us, and we were speeding up and slowing down. And then all of a sudden, a big tractor pulled out in front of us. And like, that was one of the closest times I've ever been to death. I missed that tractor by like a foot, but I think that you might've been videoing it. So try to find that video. I've always wondered like what that looked like through a video.
Oh, really? I can't remember.
Yeah, you probably, I mean, I can't imagine you would remember based on what happened after that. That was the first day of the Gumball that year in 2015. But if you happen to have that video, it'd be absolutely amazing. Because
I mean, if I find it, I'll definitely send it over to you. But 2015 Gumball. I don't know. I can have a look at my phone. We'll see what videos I've got.
Yeah, that'll bring you back. You tell me.
Be like, whoa! I can't remember cracking a bottle of champagne in Amsterdam over a thing. Actually, that was before we flew to.
Yeah.
That's the plane incident.
Oh yeah. So yeah, let's talk about the plane incident. So we're on the
Because I was with you guys
yeah.
in Amsterdam, because when we went to the so I can't remember any of this, but when I got to Amsterdam airport, I remember taking it was a full Xanax. I've never had a full Xanax before, and that is the last. That was the next thing I knew was when I woke up at the back of the plane.
Well, yeah, you had walked around the plane and you started pissing on Dolph Lundgren's leg, and he got mad and like kind of sent you back to us. And then you were punching the top of the plane, and it set off one of the oxygen things. So the pilot came back and he's like, he was like kind of panicked. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, well, you guys just set up the oxygen like mask thing, and it sends a signal to people on the ground that like we've got, we're in serious, like we've got a serious issue. So I'm just trying to clean this up. Like he was so frustrated with us at that point. I don't know if you see that, but
I didn't know that.
I went back up, talked to him, and like, Maximilian, I kind of probably had to get in there and talk to him a little bit too. But anyway, it was a good time, man. It was good to connect with you again. Any parting words that you have, and this has been amazing. I appreciate you taking time. Any parting words that you have?
No, I think the parting words were the ones that I just left earlier about, when you're younger, when you get older, go for it and chill out. But just don't be a cunt.
I love it.
Pretty much.
You've been listening to the Built on Purpose podcast, brought to you by Y Scouts. You can listen to all of our past and future podcasts at yscouts.com. Thanks a lot.